Verse 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Even so, that shows you what the arrows and the bitter and the arrows is, man. Talking about the bitter words. So when they're having these annual meetings, they're not praising us, man. In these meetings, they're setting up curses on us, man. They're putting on the demonic, satanic curses, man. Calling on Molech and Satan and Baphomet and all the different androgynous demons, and putting up these curses on the house of Jacob, man. The same way we put up curses on them, don't think they're not putting curses on us, you know. They're doing the same thing, man. They're getting together, they wear their black garments, they drink the blood, they speak with that, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, some real demonic services, man. Sacrificing pig and swine.
The reason why they do it trust the most because they know that word of prophets.
Yeah.
The sword to Revelation 11.
Yeah. So where he
Verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Right, so it said, so they encourage themselves in an evil matter, man. And they're targeting the perfect. Who's the perfect? Because when you go to Genesis 25, right, it speaks about how Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. You look at the word plain, the word there, one of the many descriptions for that is perfect, man. Alright? So when they have these meetings, their main concern, their main worry is us. Because they have nothing to worry about. Think about it, you're in power, right? You don't fear the Chinese, you don't fear them. What? Because there's no real book that says that the Chinese is written in the book that the Chinese are going to come into power. There's no book that says that the Arabs will come into power. So the elites, they don't fear none of them. They don't fear these other nations. Who they really fear is the Bible, man. They fear that the Bible come into reality, man. That the people who they have in slavery, because they have our records. They know who we are better than we did.
Yeah.
They know who we are long time before we knew who we were, man. So they have our records. They have it all laid out, man. They have it all laid out. They got the real physical evidence, man. They got the shit that we don't have. All we have is the Bible. What they have is all the books. You know what I'm saying? They got the real. That's why they made that book. Who is Esau, Edom? They raised the price to fucking a grand, man. £1,000.
1,600 it was.
£1,000. Why is that? Think about it. Why is that? Why is that?
Because they don't want us to find out that they're the Edomites.
Why would they do that? Because there's something that they don't want the masses to know. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So there's something. So they're talking about these things in their meetings, man. All right, and if they're afraid of people finding out about their identity, then they gotta be afraid of the Bible. They gotta be afraid of us, man. They gotta be afraid of us, man. They have us listed down on their hit list, man. They did the different GMS camps and all the different states. They got us listed, and even the IUIC, all the camps, man. They got them all listed.
Yeah, they're all terrorists like camps.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're watching us. They've been watching us. All right. You have to understand, this place is all about control. It's all about control. This system we're in, okay, it's all about control. CCTV. You can't even have a fight around the corner without police riding up on you within seconds, man. You think there's no CCTV? No, there's CCTV camera.
I thought we were free, brother.
You know, we're not free. We're not free. Just the other day, I just had an argument. The guy wanted to bring a bottle to try and bottle me. Within seconds, man, I walked away. I was walking back on the road, so I don't want him. My police just came up to try and arrest me. I said, what? I said, yeah, just like that. Because CCTV cameras are everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Okay? So it's all about it's all about the all-seeing eye. They want that eye on you, man. They want that power of God. They want to be omnipresent. They want to be everywhere at all times. You know, because Esau, he's trying to be like the Most High. Okay? He's trying to have that same power. Alright? Go on.
Verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
Where they commune of laying snares privily. This is not speaking about the average Edomite, man, walking around. The average so-called white man walking around. This is speaking about the higher ups, man. like the illuminated ones, man, so-called illuminated ones, the higher-ups, like the Rothschilds, okay, the ruling class, man, of Edom. They commune of laying snares for Jacob, man. They're like, listen, you see these Israelite camps? We're not gonna get them now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna demonize their image first. We're gonna make them look like terrorists for the media. Okay? We're gonna have everybody hate them, so that gives us a reason to come down and
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right. It's true.
So we can say, listen, look at these Israelite groups. They hate groups. Look, they're making racial comments. Look, we found they might pay off a brother in the camp and make him listen. Go and kill this guy. Go and do something crazy, yeah? And then they'll use that as a way to put it out on the media and say, look at these Israelite groups, look what they're doing.
And we also got to remember too that in certain camps around the states, because we're all over the world. We're not just in England. We're worldwide. This Israelite thing is worldwide. So in the midst of all of the camps, you see, yes, you even got agents out there that's in these camps. And the Bible tells you about how you're going to have agents in the last days like Judas Iscariot. All right, so everything's reactivating again.
And he was an agent, Judas Iscariot.
Yeah.
He was an agent. Yeah, go on.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. So it said that. So pretty much the illuminated ones, what do? They search out wickedness, man, and they accomplish a diligent search. So they're really into wickedness, man. You have to understand that they're really into the left-hand side because they know that the Most High hates them. They know that. They know who we are. They know that the God of the universe, man, the God that the Arabs claim to believe in, the God that the Roman Catholics and all these other institutions claim to believe in. Oh, that was get out of film, man. That's a film, man. It's still important. So anyway, what was I saying? I'm saying that they really into that wickedness, man. That's why if you check all these celebrities, man, that get up there. I mean, this brother made a video on it, man, about these celebrities that get up there in the entertainment world, and that these celebrities that all you see, every last one of them, they're all juiced in. They're all with that satanic worship. They're all sold out. All these people you see on the television, these actors, they've all engaged in that sacrificing, man, that blood sacrificing, drinking of blood, signing signature of blood, sodomy, all right, orgies, the casting couch, or eating feces, or you know, having what's it? Sacrificing one of your family members. Okay. So these are the things that you're going to have to do in order to gain wealth and riches in this present system, the society that we're in. All right? And that's what the elites require people to do. So these elites, they're really into iniquity, man. They're really into that Satan. Right? They're really into it. They're so into wickedness that they're into Aleister Crowley, man. And Aleister Crowley, he was a psychopath. They called him the Beast when he was alive, man.
So mother called him that.
His brother called him Aleister Crowley, man.
Yeah.
He was. I remember. I've lost a lot of the information. I was studying about him. I was watching a documentary on him. He had disciples, man. He had motherfucking disciples.
Yeah. On the left-hand side, bro.
He had disciples, man. He had women and men following him, and he made one of his women disciples have sex with, I think it was a donkey, and then she went crazy, man. She went crazy and left the group. He had different witch covens, man. He had different witch covens. And one of them, I think, was in Spain or something like that, man. He was a crazy guy. He was into studying them different books, man, the different witchcraft books, and studying witchcraft and shit, man. He was proper into it.
Did you hear that story? He went to one of those islands and tried to do that 100 days of witchcraft?
No, I probably read, but I forgot about it.
Yeah, I done a video. He tried to do the top witchcraft.
Yeah.
100 days. He's around this island. He couldn't do it now. He didn't accomplish it, right? That's what he tried, the 100 days. So he's got to be the most famous witch or warlock.
Yeah.
Warlock.
You know?
All these Masons, man.
I got this book as well.
Yeah, you know, all these Masons, man. Because if you go into it, right, you go into Cain, one of his sons was Tubal Cain, and he was like the first Mason. He was the first, get Genesis when it goes to Cain.
Genesis 4.
Yeah.
Actually, I already got a piece ready for you.
Yeah. Well, let him finish this.
Psalm 64, verse 5. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
You hear that? The inward thought of them is deep, man.
Yeah.
So this is what the new major psalm, David, the Psalm of David. So even King David himself had a vision of these motherfuckers. He said, God damn, so these guys are fucking ridiculous, man. These guys are so into wickedness that you have to laugh at it, man. You only see a man that's so wicked, man, you gotta laugh at it. You gotta think, this guy's out of his freaking mind, man. You know what I'm saying? Drinking blood, and he's just praising his God. Different devils, because what did he said that the gods that you're worshipping are devils. That's in Baruch, man, the 4th chapter. All right, and it's in Corinthians, I believe. All right, so these are devils, spirits on the left-hand side. Go ahead.
But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
So the Most High is going to shoot at them with an arrow, and then suddenly shall they be wounded. All right? Because what's that arrow? The arrow is talking about the nuclear missiles, the lasers. All right? And the Most High is going to shoot at them. Okay? Because it tells you that in Revelations, man. How the dragon and his angels, there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels. And then the dragon was cast down out of heaven. Okay? And then I said, Yahweh Shai said, I saw Satan falling from heaven like lightning, man. So who was he talking about? He's talking about the elites, man. He's talking about Esau.
Oh, I got it right here, brother. This is Revelations 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast onto the earth, he persecuted the woman. No, that's going into something else. That's going to... My bad. Let me finish it.
That's all 12 verse 7, right?
Yeah.
12 verse 7.
12 verse 7. Yeah, that's it right there.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, just a quick one. Yeah, this is Revelations 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Right. And the dragon fought... Let me read it slow. It's locked in. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels,
right,
and prevailed not.
Right.
Was their place found any more in heaven?
Right.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan,
right,
which deceived the whole world.
Right.
And he was cast out into the earth.
Right.
And his angels were cast out with him.
Right.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power,
right,
and the power of his anointed, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
You see that? So that's talking about pretty much the destruction of Esau, man. Okay? Talking about the dragon, meaning the devil, and Satan, and his military, meaning his angels, man. tried to fight against Yahweh Shai and his military, man.
Suicide.
Yeah, that's where he went straight to his slaughter, man.
Who's Michael?
Michael?
Yeah.
That's one of the archangels, bro. You had Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and then Celestial, Gabriel. You had four like the elders, like the chief angel spirits.
4 horsemen.
Yeah. That were with Yahweh Shai. Michael, he's like the top one. That's why you always heard about back in the Roman Catholic Church how yeah, you had Michael fought with the devil, because the devil, he was Lucifer, right? And he fought and he got jealous of the Most High. And so he got a whole bunch of other angels. He said, listen, let's rebel. Let's rebel. You know? And then the Most High sent Michael to fuck him up and kick him out of heaven. And all the angels, and they all fell from heaven like lightning. That's where you get that story from. But and they take that story literally, but it wasn't literal. It was talking about when Lucifer talking about Esau, devil, children of the devil, they're gonna fight against Yahweh Shai and Michael, and then they're gonna be destroyed out. They're gonna be taken out of power. See Yahweh Shai, Isaac, Yahweh Shai, he was Isaac. And Isaac is coming back to take away the blessing from his first son, Esau. Because Isaac, or Yahweh Shai, gave his first son his power. He said, you're going to rule by the sword. By the sword you shall live. And now Isaac's coming back again to whoop his son's ass, man. Alright? For attacking his younger brother. Alright? So Isaac's coming back with power, man. Because back then Isaac didn't know his son was going to be wicked. He didn't know. Where Isaac would have killed his son. Now he's going to kill him the second time. But where are we?
Yeah. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they shall be wounded.
Right.
Verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away.
So where are we?
Verse 8.
Verse 8, so shall make their own tongue.
Fall upon
Right.
themselves.
So what's going to happen is the same iniquity that they devised against us, and that they devised in general with their nuclear weapons and their weapons of mass destruction, pretty much with their blessing. Because you have to understand, they're taking advantage of the blessing that Isaac they gave them. Okay, Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. And right now, Esau, what is he saying? He's basically saying he's devising iniquities, man. Alright? Which is pretty much he's using different ways to use his sword. Because the word sword means basically an instrument of death. So they're devising different ways to create instruments of death on earth, man. So that's their blessing. That's why they said their very thoughts are deep. That is their blessing. That's their purpose. To be the instrument of death on earth. Even Habakkuk said that's what he would. He said that he is as death. Okay, and he can't be satisfied. So,
Finish that one.
let me finish the paragraph.
Yeah. That's it. Want to go back to this one? Okay. Verse 9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God.
Right.
For they shall wisely consider of his doing.
Right, exactly. That's what's going to happen, man. Because when we exited Egypt, that was an international thing, man. Everybody knew about it. For example, say if now, right? Say if Jake and Hispanics and Latinos, they said, you know what, fuck this place, let's move, let's migrate. Don't think that will hit the international news, you know? That will hit news all over the world, man. Black people and Hispanic and Latino and Mexican people just left the Americas, man. That will hit the news. That would fuck up Esau's economy. That will fuck him up.
Yeah, because one of the ones is pretty much working this economy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let us
He wouldn't let you be with
Say if there was a mass exodus of millions upon millions upon millions of blacks and Hispanics and Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, we just all left the islands and we just left. That would hit the news. And then other nations will be shitting themselves. They'll be thinking, where are they gonna move to? Because we can't accept all these millions of people into our country like that. Then they're gonna build up their defenses. They're gonna be shitting themselves. That's pretty much what happened 3,000 years ago when we exited slavery, man. When millions upon millions of us just exited. The other nations are thinking, where are they going to go? What are they coming with? You know what I'm trying to say? What's their intentions? You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what happened. All right. So and when when that judgment day does come, all these other nations, they're gonna know the name of the Most High. Because back then when we exited Egypt, we did it by the hand, the might and power of Yahweh, man. And that's how Yahweh's name was known. That's how people how they migrated. They're gonna that's how they knew the name of Yahweh, man. Back then. All right, and they're gonna know it again, man. They're gonna know it again. That's the beautiful thing. All nations, they're gonna know about the name of Yahweh, man. They're gonna be fit. They're gonna fear the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Right.
Verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord,
Right.
and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory.
Right. So that's us. Because we're gonna win in the end. We're gonna win in the end, man. Alright? I mean, it can be vexed. You can be very vexed when you see the shit that's happening now. But what eases my mind is what the scriptures say. That's literally my comfort in my distress. You understand what I'm saying? Alright? So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man, and you know that. Hey, I'm gonna continue on where the brother left off at because this is an interesting topic. Because we had an old Edomite that came up here, and he was pretty much spilling the beans of what the insiders are doing. All right, of his own people. So when you think about what's going on around the world, everything's happening because of what? Prophecy. Okay, there's a scripture to say in Psalms, right? It says that their tongue shall fall upon themselves. And this is what he did. He revealed all sorts of things that certain things we didn't even know about. You understand? And more things are being revealed. All right. So we're in the time of the revealing of the wicked. Who is the wicked? The so-called white man. And this gentleman, he came up here and he further solidified that. All right. Yeah, brother, get me yeah, some water, brother. Get me some more water.
Water, yeah?
Yeah, your phone. Not the phone, the bar. So hey, that's what it is, man. We're in that time where basically this man is being revealed. That skirt that was the skirt that Isaiah states, the skirt shall be lifted up. That's what's happening right now. Okay, the expose is on the so-called white man, all right, and the reason why we keep talking about the so-called white man, because he's the one that's in power right now. He's the one that's destroying the earth right now. So that's the main reason why we talk about it. All right, but really the reason I use the term so-called white because they're not really white. They're Edomites. Like for the term us being black, we're not black people. We're what you call the Israelites, and we're not black anyway. We're different shades of brown. All right, it's just that we've been brainwashed under this colorism madness, which the color does not define who we are. Okay, so get me what is it? Psalms, I think it was Psalms 10, right? Yeah, Psalms 30. Psalms 36, and I believe it's the first chapter.
Psalms 36.
Yeah. Because that's just the whole thing right now, as it stands right now. The wicked is in power. The wicked is ruling. And the wicked is going to play his part to the best of his ability. Okay? You got it, right? You're going.
Psalms 36, yeah.
Yeah. And you can read this off.
Psalms 36 and 1, and it says, the transgression of the wicked said within my heart that there is no fear of God before his eyes.
You're going.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful.
You read that verse again, brother?
It says, for he flattereth himself in his own eyes.
Right, he flattereth himself in his own eyes. And that's one thing about these Edomites. They like to boast themselves because they pretty much move on pride. That's why they do what they do, but everything that they do is on the left-hand side. It's all based on lust. It's all based on the now, the feeling, the amusement they get from the wickedness that they do. And that, therefore, they can declare, look how strong I am. All right? Because, see, if you know that you're strong, you don't have to declare that. You don't have to show that off. But a person that has to declare their strength is really because they're weak inside. Okay, they have no substance to their character. Okay, so read that.
And it says, verse 3, the words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit.
Right, the word in his mouth was wickedness and deceit. It tells you that that old dragon which was called the devil, which deceived the nations no more. That's that Romanized revamped system that we're under right now. We will live in a society that will deceive all kinds of people. And guess what? We're brought back on the scene as the prophets, pretty much removing that veil amongst all people. So when, let's say for example, you watching YouTube, hey, and you a so-called white person, you may hear a word behind you on how you're an Edomite, all right? Or if you're a so-called Negro, you may hear a word behind you, oh, he's from the tribe of Judah. Or you might be a West Indian, oh, he's from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? So all of the lies and the madness that Esau's been perpetrating for centuries, ever since we've been under this system, it's now being washed away now. Because now it's time for the truth to prevail. It's time for the Most High's children and the truth to prevail, man. And that's the time we're living in right now. Okay, that's the time we're living in right now, man. And this wicked man, he's being rebuilt day in and day out, man. And that's why it's going to get to the point where they're going to try and persecute the men of God. But guess what? They're going to do that because the Lord is going to sanction them to do that. They're not going to do that based on their own will. They're going to do that because Yahweh sanctioned that to happen, so that His word can be fulfilled. All right. The Lord controls all things, baby. And that's why this is why, you know, we as brothers, we can't really be panicking about the persecution. Because guess what? The Lord is going to allow it for a reason. Okay, and the sooner we can get to that persecution, the sooner we can get into the kingdom. Because that's how we're going to get into the kingdom. Okay, in the book of, Acts 14, and 23, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples that through much tribulation shall enter into the kingdom. So are we the disciples? Of course not. Okay, we're those same disciples coming back, teaching the same gospel, teaching the same doctrine. Okay? So we're going to go through that persecution like we did back 2,000 years ago. All right? So the same thing is going to reactivate all over again. Go on, brother.
So Isaiah 9 and 19, and it says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun.
Right, from the glory of the rising of the sun. They're going to fear the Lord from the east and the west. Because the Most High is going to magnify His power. And the Lord, the way He's going to do that is by the strangeness of our salvation. When you start seeing the multitude of chariots and that big ass chariot, that's when all people are going to know the power, the supreme power. Okay, because you got a lot of individuals out here in this Western Hemisphere, they don't believe in the Most High. Even the ones of our people don't even believe in the Most High. But when the Most High shows Himself in His majesty and His magnificence, all is going to believe from that point on. That's why the scripture says when Yahushua comes, every knee and tongue shall confess. So Yahushua, when He comes through, who the world called Jesus Christ, all kinds of people that you thought that couldn't believe, they're gonna be believers at an instant. You watch what you see. Okay, everybody out in this motherfucker, they're gonna be instantly believers of Yahushua. Even these Mohammedans, they're gonna put away that Quran and they're gonna believe in that Bible, man. That's the truth. And this is something that the higher up bankers know. They know this. They know the power of this Bible, man. Why you think they made the film, the Book of Eli? And they had Denzel Washington play the main actor. Because they know that the Israelites, they know that Denzel Washington himself, okay, is an Israelite for one, and they also know that the people of the Bible are the Israelites, which is our people. So these Hollywood producers, they know the real truth. They know this, man. All right, they know what the deal is. Okay, so hey, man, all of these lies out there. You got the Quranian believers. You know, you got the Episcopalian church believers, the Baptist church believers, the Roman Catholics, and then you got these black consciousness movement. That's all shenanigans, man. That's not truth. Okay, I mean, you got all kinds of philosophies out there that has nothing to do with anything. And the banking elite, they don't give a shit about these religions out there. Their main care is the Bible alone. Because the Bible holds such power, and they also know that who people call black people today are the people of the Bible. They know this, man. Okay, do you know that there's secret there's secret libraries where they got all the artifacts, and they got the books to further show that we're the Jews. Like the brother was going into, the one was going into, man, on how, you know, you got these elites, they got certain books, so where it pretty much further confirms the history of our people, man, being the Jews. Okay, I mean, we got a little bit of the history, but at the same time, they got more. They got more hard-hitting proof that we are the Jews. We are the Israelites. Okay? So go on, brother.
And it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Right, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Who is the enemy? The enemy is the Edomites that are the enemies of Jacob, man. The 12 tribes of Israel. Who are the Edomites? The so-called white people today. Okay? I'm not saying that just to be saying that, because we've done the research. And even the white scholars know this. They know that they're the Edomites. All right? They know that they're the Edomites. Even the banking elite, they got scholars behind them, showing them and revealing that they're the Edomites. And that's always been the battle, right? The battle was always being between Jacob and Esau. So Esau is going to come down with great wrath, spare none. Go on, brother.
And it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood,
Yep.
the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
Right, meaning the Most High is going to take care of us, man. We're going to get that power. That spirit, what you call extraterrestrial spiritual power. Okay? So the Lord is going to lift